I recently had a chance to take the Western Rise Voyager 35 on a short week-long trip to Las Vegas as a carry-on only flight on Alaska Airlines. This is a new pack by a company normally known for their travel clothing, especially pants. My initial impression is I like this design. It's large, easy to pack, and extremely comfortable to carry. However, there are a few features that I think could use improvement. The Voyager comes in two sizes. There's a smaller 25-liter size called the Pro, and then this is the larger 35-liter version that I have here. Interestingly, the dimensions of 22 by 14 by 9.5 deep are more commonly seen on larger travel backpacks in the 40 to 45-liter range, so I'm curious to see how this bag pans out with a peanut test. I did test this bag in several airport sizers and it fit fine, and all the carry-on sized sizers also fit fine on the overhead. I didn't try it under the seat because this size is a little bit too big to work as a personal item. So jumping right into the capacity test, I'll fill this bag with packing peanuts and transfer into my mark container, see how close it is to the 35-liter mark. This is the Voyager 35 fully packed out with packing peanuts. Try to get all the pockets and crevices as full as I could. Measuring this thing seems pretty close to their listed dimensions, about 22, 14, 9.5. This feels like it might be a little bit deeper, maybe around 10 inches deep here. And kind of as I suspected, this thing is a little bit above 35. I say it's closer to like a 40-liter pack. So now let's switch to looking at the materials on the Voyager 35. I think they did a good job here using a suite of common yet high quality and high durability fabrics. They use a Midway 420 denier ballistic nylon, smaller weave. This is a very strong, durable fabric. DWR water resistant coating. This is on the front, sides, and around the back of the pack. To complement this, they used a thicker 630 denier nylon and what they call a carbonate coating. It's basically a polyurethane coating. This is going to improve water resistance, add durability. You can see it looks slightly rubberized, but it's not incredibly thick, so it doesn't make the fabric feel very stiff. And then to keep up with the water resistant theme on the materials, they used mid-size number 8 YKK Aquaguard zippers on all the main exterior pockets, main compartment, laptop, and the side water bottle pockets. For hardware, they used magnetic buckles. I think this is a great feature on the sternum strap. It's secure, really easy to take on and off, really easy to adjust. They also chose to use these same magnetic buckle attachments where the shoulder strap attaches to the bag. I think this is an interesting design choice that I'll talk about a little bit more later on in the video. Now let's have a look at the external organization on the Voyager 35. There are a few external pockets on this bag, shoe compartment, 2 side pockets, and a top slash pocket, but a majority of the small gear organization is going to be on the inside main and laptop compartments. The top slash pocket is very wide, but it's also skinny, sits between the laptop and the back padding here. So even though it's a fairly large pocket, it really doesn't have that much volume. But it is plenty big enough for keys, a little key leash in here, sunglasses, charger cords, other small easy access gear. The other exterior organization is 2 pockets, which I call hybrid pockets because they're located inside the main compartment and laptop compartment, and you can access them either from inside the bag or outside the bag when it's standing up from the top. This top pocket in particular is quite large, and this front panel has its own volume, so you can fit a ton of gear in here. Either use it as a packing cube from the inside or for small gear organization, access from the outside of the pack. Really easy to get to. You do, however, need to open 2 zippers to get into this pocket. The other external organization is a side pocket. It looks like there's 2 pockets here. However, this one is just an access flap into the main compartment, and you can't store any gear in here. The other side, however, is actually a legit water bottle pocket. Lays flat on the outside, and the volume is going to stick inside the bag rather than popping out. So from the outside, this pocket looks kind of small, but actually the volume is deceivingly large. You can see it goes way inside the main compartment here. And this thing is going to hold pretty much any size water bottle you want to put in there, really without a problem. There's always a trade-off with water bottle pockets. Either you have the design that pops out from the bag, giving you a big water bottle here, maybe preventing you from fitting it in the sizer box, or you have a style like this that keeps the outside of the bag very flat, doesn't pop out of the bag, but is going to eat and compete with volume for the main compartment. And it's kind of the same deal with this shoe compartment down here. These can be really nice if you're carrying dirty shoes or something wet that you want to keep separate from the main part of your pack. It has basically a waterproof liner that's going to keep anything you put in here separate and not get all your gear dirty in the main compartment. And as you can see, this is designed well with a large fabric flap in here, so it's going to eat anything you put in here. Kind of a medium pair of shoes, it's going to kind of pop in here to the main compartment. But this fabric flap is also going to lay flat if you pack the main compartment full, and it's not going to take up any space if you decide not to put anything in the shoe compartment. I think this style of pocket design adds a lot of flexibility in how you pack your bag. You can kind of choose which pocket you want to put your gear in, really with the only downside being a little bit of extra weight with the zipper and a little bit of extra fabric. So that's most of the exterior pockets. The last thing to show you on the outside of the bag is the laptop compartment, which if you carry one when you travel, this thing is a beast. I packed this bag with two 15-inch Dell laptops on my trip. It does a great job holding anything you want to stick in this pocket, and it's great for larger laptops. This top sleeve here with the magnetic flap is for just a regular laptop. My Dell 15 fits in here very easily, plenty of room, snug, and there's a nice false bottom to keep it off the bottom of the pack. But there's some expansion stretchiness on the side, which can hold up to an 18-inch laptop. It's nice if you have one that big, because most travel backpacks don't hold anything larger than maybe 15 or 16. In front of that is another small padded tablet sleeve, and then that zipper pocket for storing gear that I mentioned earlier. And also, there's just a giant pocket in here that I use for my second laptop. It's not quite as padded as the sleeve back here, but it's gigantic and goes all the way down to the bottom. So if you do carry a laptop in here, there's a little bit of padding down here, but no false bottom. So you just need to be a little bit careful when you're setting the bag down. So now I've shown you all the external features. Let's move to the inside of the bag. Large panel opening style lid opens into a large, easy to pack main compartment. On the lid side of the bag, two medium-sized zipper pockets. As I mentioned earlier, these do both have their own volume. This top one's a little bit bigger, and it pops out in the lid side of the bag. So you could use these either for packing cubes for smaller socks and underwear, or if you wanted to pack this with gear for easy access to the outside of the bag when it's fully packed. The main compartment here is just a big open. There's no other pockets or dividers or anything going on in here, just a big open pocket. Only thing affecting how you're going to pack in here is if or what you put in the shoe compartment and the side water bottle pocket. As far as packing the Voyager goes, this big main compartment, I think packing cubes are the way to go with this bag. Unfortunately, I don't have the Western Rise brand cubes, but I have these Eagle Creek cubes that are the exact same dimensions. This is an almost identical 10 by 17 compression cube, same size as the Western Rise cubes, but these are Eagle Creek brand. They also have a larger clean dirty cube with the same dimensions, except it's a little bit thicker, and then a smaller 10 by 17 smaller compression cube. Two of these medium cubes are going to fit pretty perfectly inside the main compartment because you do have that extra space on the bottom. If you don't put anything in the shoe compartment, you can stuff these down and still have enough room on the top for a small pouch or toiletry bag. This other clean dirty cube is basically interchangeable in the length and width dimensions with these. It's just a little bit thicker, so you can see with these compressed down, you're gonna have a small amount of space on the top for some jackets, and with this one, you're just gonna have a little bit less room. You can see a side view here. Even with these two larger packing cubes, you still have plenty of room for a light jacket. You can put the other small packing cube, toiletry kit, or another pouch with even still a little bit of room here on the top. And remember, these lid pockets have quite a bit of their own volume, so as long as you don't overpack this main compartment so you're coming over this zipper line, you still have all the volume over on this side of the bag. A little bit more of a side view here. The way I packed this bag was the main compartment, all my clothes, main bulky gear, and because I had quite a bit of smaller electronics, I put them mostly in these front pockets because like you can see, this thing is still empty. You still have this entire volume right here as a pocket for all your small gear and electronics that you can still get to from the outside of the pack. But remember, how you pack this bag is going to be largely dependent on what you put in these outside pockets. For example, if you have a large pair of shoes down here in the bottom, you're probably not going to be able to fit both of these full-size packing cubes. You're going to have to just use one or tone them down a little bit. If you're looking for a good combination of packing cubes to work in this bag with any combination of shoe compartment side water bottle pockets, I would just go ahead and use the Western Rise packing set. They have like 4 cubes, medium, clean dirty cube, small. They have a shoe bag as well as a dry bag. That's going to give you the best combination of packing styles for pretty much any configuration you want to put this bag in. So now that I have the bag all packed up, let's have a look at the carry system. There doesn't seem to be anything special about these straps, but for some reason, this bag design just fits me really well. The foam that they use in the shoulder pads and the back padding is soft, but kind of a medium firm density that hugs my back very well. Some good travel features here with removable shoulder straps that are gonna tuck behind this back padding right here, as well as a luggage pass-through sleeve, so you can use this with a rolling luggage. But just overall, really good design here. There's good back air ventilation. There's a nice adjustable sternum strap, magnetic buckle here. I also like that it's hidden behind this flap so you can't see the adjuster when it's not in use. So just gives these a nice, really clean look. Also comes with an included hip belt, basic, but it works good. Magnetic clasp buckle here, as well as magnet attachments on the ends. Another good design because these buckles are hidden behind this fabric flap, so when not in use you can't really see them. They're not going to stick out or poke you, but clip on here with the magnetic buckle, and they're easy to use. I think they basically did everything right here with this carry system, with my only qualm being the design on the attachment of the shoulder straps. They went with a smaller magnetic clasp buckle here, which is the exact same size they use for the sternum strap. I think it's a little bit too small, and the magnet is pretty easy to just pop open, accidentally unclasp it, which actually happened to me twice, both times when I was taking this bag out of the overhead. I just think an important attachment point like this, you just need something a little bit sturdier, less likely to accidentally just pop off and unclasp, like a thicker buckle, or just sew this right into the pack. The other feature I was a little bit weary about at first, but ended up working fine when I'm testing this, is this top carry handle. It's very thin and looks like it's not gonna hold a lot of weight. However, when I tested this bag, I had it loaded pretty full, 2 laptops, and even though it doesn't look like it can support the weight of the bag, I didn't have any problems with this thing holding the weight that I put in here. And again, as carry comfort goes, I thought the Voyager was surprisingly comfortable. I had this thing really loaded up with gear when I tested it. Fully packed out with coffee thermos, water bottle, clothes, electronics, toiletries for a week, as well as 2 laptops and all the charge cords. So heavier than I usually carry bags, but very comfortable. Shoulder straps fit really well, back padding forms to your back. A lot of adjustability, sternum straps, some nice strap keepers, and the optional hip belt if you want it. I didn't carry it with this trip, and I thought it carried fine without this. So in summary, the Western Rise Voyager 35, I think this is a good travel pack that does almost everything right, but could be made much better with just a few small improvements. I love the look on this bag. The two-tone fabric looks really nice, adds extra durability on the bottom of the pack where you need it. This is huge, holds a ton of gear. Lid pockets have their own volume, so it's hard to overpack the main compartment. My biggest con on this pack is really the adjustment point on the shoulder straps. They need to make this more secure in the update with either a larger magnet clasp or just a buckle, and they should update the capacity on their website for a more realistic packing volume of around 40 liters instead of the listed 35. I hope you enjoyed this review on the Western Rise Voyager 35 travel backpack. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and again, thanks for watching.